Good morning, peoples, boys and girls, lads and ladies from everywhere. This will be the second time I have to shoot this. I lost the footage of the first one, which, when doing a guide, um, it's kind of annoying because you go through a fair bit only to have the thing shit itself, which is annoying. But anyway, 7.1. Fury closing the gap once again on arms. Yay. Less RNG. So the first thing will just be my opinion, and then I'll go on to a rough little quick guide about what the go is if you've never played Fury before, if you're not sure what Fury's about. So Fury generally got 8% buffs on most rotational abilities, and it got a little tweak to how much damage you take when you're enraged. So as far as playing the thing, nothing changed. It's just here, have some more damage on what you were already doing. So in those aspects, for people that already know how to play this, there's your Fury guide. Nothing changed. You'll just notice, look, I'm doing more damage. Woo! But you'll see now that when you look at Enrage, 20% damage taken rather than 30%. Yay, awesome. My opinion still stands solid that depending on your gear, a single target arm spec will still, on average, actually more than on average, most of the time dominate a single target Fury spec. So an equally skilled geared person will do better as arms on a single target than you will as Fury. Does it mean you can't play Fury? I didn't say that. Everyone always does that. Oh, you can still play Fury though. Yeah, I didn't say that you couldn't. You can still play it. It's just my opinion is still solid. You won't do as much damage, especially when you start bringing in legendaries into the caper. Oops, how's my keybinds? Nice one. When you start talking about using these gloves for arms and this ring for arms, you're just going to start to smash it. Absolutely smash your Fury into the ground. And then what about the Fury legendaries? None of these are anywhere near as good as the legendary gloves for arms. None of them have such a massive impact on your core rotation as it does. You know, when you get these, of course, you'll do some tasty damage and you'll have some tasty upgrades. But you know, it's not going to do what arms can do for you. But besides all that, when RNG does not go your way, Fury is your friend every time. If your RNG doesn't go your way and you're in arm spec at the time, you might as well just AFK in some cases. It's so frustrating. So anyway, playing Fury. Fury's fun, Fury's great, Fury's versatile. It can AoE, it can single target. Okay, it can single target reasonable. You know, playing with other people that are sort of in your skill zone, you're not gonna beat them. But on AoE packs and you'll single target, fast single target burns, yeah, you'll do fine. You'll scare them. You might beat them occasionally. But anyway, first things first. I'll go through the talents real quick. So for Fury, it's the same way I'm playing. And check this out for yourself. Fresh Meat, no. War Machine, no. Shockwave is fine if you're doing Mythic Pluses. You can stun some stuff. Double Time I find is way better. But if you're doing difficult stuff, Shockwave, you should probably take it with you. Wrecking Ball is fine. It does it increases your AoE nicely when it procs. And if you've got the Legendary Belt, even more power to you. But Avatar, when I'm bursting under cooldowns, I like to burst hard under cooldowns. Give myself the best opportunities. Warpaint, I'm not putting a point in this anymore because you only get an extra 5% less damage taken. Used to be an extra 10% less damage taken, so it used to take you 30% to 20. Now this only takes you 20% to 15. So yeah, there you go. Bounding Strides I enjoy more. I can leap around and get a little speed boost. Yay! And the dwarf run is hilarious. And it's on a shorter cooldown now. Fury's charge is good for the heal. Perhaps when you're questing, if you're thinking about leveling up a warrior, you might take this if you find yourself getting beaten up. This tree, Carnage, anything that doesn't have an execute phase or a decent size execute phase, you take in Carnage every day of the week. So mythic dungeons, 5-mans, world questing, all that sort of stuff. You're going to be taking this. More rampages is going to work out to more damage. Anything that's got an execute phase, a decent size execute phase, Mask is probably going to be better. This in conjunction with, whenever you get a crit execute, you get a free rampage. That's all it is, yeah. And when combined up with Juggernaut, which this I think a lot of people were hoping this would be adjusted in the patch, which it wasn't. You're stacking executes. Still only stack up by 5% per execute, so the damage takes an obscene amount of time to stack up to anything decent. And you've only got 6 seconds to refresh it, so any type of mechanic that goes your way during execute phase, you're going to lose your stacks and you're going to have to start again. Double that to 12 seconds, for the love of God. And make it stack up at, I don't know, try it at 10% per stack. Because the shorter fights go, the less bonus this is. So it needs to be better, considering that this is all dedicated to this execute phase. You know, what's the point when you're spending all this artifact power on a phase that is a bit lackluster? Anyway, gear, it's all haste gear, folks. 90% crit, 35% haste, and a bit of mastery there. But it's all haste gear. My artifact talent thingy. Haven't got Blood Craze, haven't got Uncontrolled Rage, haven't put any points in Wild Slashes. This is coming from a Relic. Relic for Furious Slash, Relic for Wrath of Fury, which is this one here. Increases Raging Blow damage, it's so nice. And defensive one. Boo. My overall eye level for my weapon is 896, so it's getting there. I'm not one of them 900 plus people, but yeah, no. Yeah, so that's all that. The rest of it is all just haste gear, as much haste as I can find. I'm using a Mythic Ravage Seed Pod this morning, but I was just testing it, because I look at 35% haste, it's getting up there now. I would normally run an Ursox, it's supposed to be down to 32. Ursox seems to be doing decent single target damage now, it seems to be really, really nice. These are the two I generally use for raiding, even though I usually raid as arms, but I'm going to raid this week as Fury for our heroic clear, just to see how it goes. I've got a ton of other trinkets. I highly recommend using Terrorbound Nexus if you're doing dungeons. The proc can do silly amounts of damage in AoE, which, you know, trash packs and stuff is really good. But I was going to test this to see if my haste was high enough to affect my battle cry window. 5 seconds, what can you fit into 5 seconds? That's the gear. The way to play Fury, if you've never played it, I'll quickly show ya. So, auto attacks generate rage. See, look, I'm getting rage. Rage, 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 rage. How else do you get rage? Bloodthirst will give you rage. Raging Blow will give you a tiny bit of rage. They're the only real main methods to get rage. And obviously if you charge in, you'll gain some rage. So that's how you get your rage. You're only spending rage on 2 abilities, which is Rampage, and when the target's low enough, Execute. They're your only 2 rage spenders in general. Some other things like Piercing Howl for slowing, that does cost rage, but that's really about it. So how do we play this thing? Well, you want to be enraged. Being enraged not only increases your attack speed by 100%, it also increases all your damage, which is based on how much mastery you've got. So I got 30% mastery at the moment. So whenever I Bloodthirst, it has a chance to enrage me, which it's not going to do. And every time I Rampage, I get enraged. Right there. So then, when that enrage things up, whatever I do now, I'm going to get 33% more damage out of. So, So obviously you're taken away from that is you want to be using this on cooldown and you want to be using this as often as you can. Okay. The thing to remember with Rampage is that even though it's a 2-second, see it's got a little tooltip in the right hand side there, it says 2 seconds, but remember, during the animation, once the GCD's over, you can squish another ability with it. So depending on how you're playing, don't wait for this animation to stop before you do something else. Just hit something while the animation is ending. So squish an ability with it. The rest is just basically a priority system. So Raging Blow, high priority, will generally do your most damage. And then the other two trying to keep them off cooldown. So Raging Blow you need to hit as much as you can. That needs to be off cooldown. That needs to be off cooldown. Yeah, we can hit this again. Oh, we can Bloodthirst again. Ah, we can Rampage again. Squishing it with Raging Blow, Bloodthirst. I've got nothing. There will be slight windows where you have nothing, and that's when Furious Strike comes into it. Furious Strike is a weak hitting ability, but it will give you Taste for Blood, which increases the critical strike chance of your next Bloodthirst. So it's increasing the chance that your next Bloodthirst will crit. The thing that's annoying about it is it doesn't last that long. So if I Furious Strike, I only get like 7 seconds or something. So, I mean, you're always going to be bloodthirsting anyway within the next 6 seconds, so I guess it doesn't really make a difference. But this is all it is. Cooldown's cool. Like, everything off cooldown. You know, whenever I've got a window where I've got nothing, I'm going to bang in a Furious Strike. Wild Strike, should I say. Furious Slash. Ah, it used to be called Wild Strike. It sucked then as well. But that's all it is. And yes, I'm clicking to show you how this is done. I'm obviously not going to click when it comes time to actually do this properly in a minute. The only little sort of caveat, little proviso, whatever you want to call it, that I'm going to add here is the little bit of thought process you're going to have in this is in Rage. So if you're at a time where two things come off cooldown at two things become available at exactly the same time, you'll always have a decision to make. So there'll be moments when Rampage and Raging Blow are ready to go at exactly the same time. What decision are you going to make? Now, the priority system would say that you're going to use Raging Blow every time, yeah? And this is my thinking on this. If I'm enraged at the time, and they both come off cooldown, then yeah, I'll bang in the Raging Blow, because it's going to get the 33% bonus. But if I'm not enraged at the time, then I'll Raging Blow first to become enraged, then I'll Raging Blow. That's it. That's the only bit of little thought that you need to put into it, yeah? So, that's that. Just remember that one little thing there, because it should yield theoretically more DPS. The last one that I probably want to touch on is the burst window. Now, this is going to differ for everybody because not everybody's got the same amount of haste. But when you're bursting at the start of a fight or whatever, the one thing you just got to be thinking is how much can I fit into this window, and just use your priority system. So first you have to enrage yourself. So when you pop Battle Cry, the ability that you hit with Battle Cry, never go Battle Cry then an ability. Battle Cry's off the GCD, so pop it with the ability. The amount of times I see people going Battle Cry and then hitting an ability just hurts me. So Battle Cry with an ability, which means that you have to wait for the previous GCD to be over before you use Battle Cry. Don't hit it straight after whatever you've done before your window, because then you'll lose precious milliseconds of Battle Cry. So yeah, don't do stuff like Dragon's Roar then Battle Cry, because I lost like a tiny bit of time. You want to be Battle Crying with the ability. So Number one, enrage. So you got to make a decision. Am I going to enrage myself with bloodthirst? Because remember, it's going to crit because of battle cry. Or am I going to enrage myself with rampage? Which one does more damage? Rampage. It should do more damage. It's hitting so many times, yeah. But bloodthirst is there if you don't have the rage, of course. And this is where Reckless Abandon comes into it. If you have Reckless Abandon, then you probably go into every burn phase with Rampage. I don't run Reckless Abandon, so sometimes, depending on how I'm going, at least on the pool, I'll be going into my burst phase with Bloodthirst, not Rampage. So then it's just about what else can you fit into that window. So you want to try, ideally you want to try and get 2 Raging Blows in there. The Raging Blow has a 3.34 second cooldown, so you can definitely get 2 in. But that's that. What you do out besides that can be whatever. I mean, Bloodthirst, Furious Strikes, you just want to be putting damage in. So the way I do it, and I've got 35% haste, I normally wouldn't. I'd normally run Ursox instead of this, but I was just playing around. I would charge in, do my Dragon's Roar, those together, Rampage, Furious Strike. Sorry, Odin's Fury would be that cooldown. You idiot. Forgot about Odin's Fury. So it would be Bloodthirst to Enrage, Raging Blow, Odin's Fury. Then I would go Bloodthirst, Raging Blow. And that just fits into the window. I'll show you in a second when this bloody comes off cooldown. Can I get a proc to reduce the cooldown? Come on. Come on. No, it's not going to proc. Oh. No, 8 seconds. It'll come back. So, yeah. I'll do this again in a sec. So, I'm going Dragon's Roar, Battle Cry, and that. Odin's Fury, that, and then Raging Blow. So, they just fit in. Just fits in to my cool window, and that's with 35% haste. If you don't have 35% haste or close to that, your last Raging Blow probably isn't going to fit into that window. So you just got to work on the haste. So that's what I'm saying. Work out the best for your gear, the best for your haste level, what you can fit into that window. It's generally going to start off the same as me. Bloodthirst, Raging Blow, Odin's Fury. Or if you prefer to enrage yourself with Rampage and you have the rage, you're going to go Rampage, Raging Blow, Odin's Fury. They're always going to be your first 3. But then what you fit into the remaining time you have will be up to you. Who knows what that's going to be. And under Heroism, under Last, you'll probably be able to fit 3 Raging Blows, possibly. Depends on how much that... I'd have to test that. I really haven't paid attention to that. But, see, now that I've got high enough rage, I'll be charging in. There you go. There you go. There you go. And I'd probably just... Yeah, it just fits. It just fits. So there I was able to go enrage myself with Rampage. Then I went Raging Blow, Odin's Fury. Bloodthirst, Rampage. And it just fit in. So... And that's a big burst window. That's a lot of damage during that burst. You imagine having an Old God Potion up and all that. That's going to be huge. You know, full buffs, the whole shooting match. All that is a little bit... It's a bit of a moot point because in raids I don't use Ravage Seed Pod because it just doesn't do enough damage. I know here it looks like it's doing a lot of damage, but it's hitting both of them, I suspect. So I usually go Ursox, 32% haste. I'm waffling on so much right now, but you know, I'm trying to get you thinking. So you do this. There it is. And then it's not going to fit in. Yeah, you haven't got enough haste for it to fit in. This is the last Raging Blow. And the whole point is to try and fit 2 Raging Blows in. 2 Raging Blows is going to be your highest damage, considering what's Raging Blow hitting for. My main hands are hitting for 630,000, and my off hands are hitting for 300,000. So I'm getting 1 million out of every cast of Raging Blow. And with buffs it's even more. So yeah, that doesn't fit, which is a bit sad. Let's try it again. So you can get it in if you don't use Rampage, and if you're a bit more diligent with popping Battle Cry right on top of your first GCD. Anyway, I'm carrying on. I'm up to 20 minutes on this bloody guide. That's what it is. If you want to know about the execute rotation, I've got a separate video for that. Put it in the description. And this dummy is awesome to play around with the execute rotation. I highly, highly recommend it. Come to this dummy and bash out some executes. And stack this Juggernaut stack up as high as you can. Stay here for a long time as well and play around with it. You'll do wonders to just having this being second nature. It's awesome fun. And once this starts to hit like 99 stacks, oh, the damage. And this is the only place you're going to see 99 stacks, or even high stacks, because it takes too long to stack up. But you start seeing absolutely bonkers executes. You'll be hitting like 4 million executes and ridiculous shit like that. But that's it. That's all I wanted to do in this video. So cheers for watching. If you want my auras, my UI, stuff like that, I know that's going to be a question that's going to come up a lot. I do have videos that have my auras, so just have a peek on the channel. I don't want to attach it to this video because I've attached it to so many videos. Perhaps I'll put a link as well in the description to my auras from another guide. Because yeah, as you can see, I've got it pretty well set up to track everything I need to do. So yeah, that's all I was doing. Enjoy. Yes, meaty execute. Go, you good things. This is what execute should start off hitting for. So good. Yeah, have a good day. And yeah, I'll see you around.